Grand rising and priming powerful beings. Shout out to you. It's the holistic motivator. And today I'm going to be talking about being glad and not sad, transmuting seasonal affective disorder to seasonal appreciation order. So keep tapping into this Ed Talks Daily as I talk about being glad and not sad. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. All right, so the weather is shifting. I feel like they're doing something in the background to get people in all types of moods, but that's just my mind thinking about stuff. But before we even get there, I just want to talk to you about the opportunity you have to make this weekend one of the best weekends in your life. Opportunity you have to break strongholds, to break chains that's been holding you feeling a certain way about it. And what we're going to do is we're going to exchange our expectations for appreciation. Shout out to Tony Robbins, right? I didn't come up with that. That's all Tony right there. If you exchange your expectations for your appreciation, everything doesn't change, but you change the way you look at everything. So when you exchange your expectations for appreciation, I'm gonna say it again, everything doesn't change, but you change the way you look at things. When you change the way you look at things, what you look at will change. Keep tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily. Let's get it. This is the season to be glad, not sad. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. What is this saying? Every single day when we wake up and we look at what we have and we just look at the fact that we're alive, it's hard for us not to be in gratitude, right? It's hard for us not to be in gratitude. And let me tell you something here. A lot of times we don't suffer things, we suffer thought about how things should be or could be. So we're suffering expectations, all the love received. So we suffer expectations. We suffer what we thought we should have. So we rob ourselves of what we can have because we have an expectation. Where we have an expectation of how the holiday should look like. We have an expectation of what we should get. We have an expectation of how what should be in our lives right now. We have an expectation. And somebody said that if you have expectations, you're actually setting yourself up for disappointment whenever it doesn't reach your expectation. I was just watching this video of somebody that said that, I forgot, she said she's a Pisces or something of that nature, and she said, every relationship I get into, I play a story of how I want it to go. So whenever it does not go the way I want it to go, I just give up on it. And then that really got me thinking. I was like, oh man, you know, when we literally have a blueprint or itinerary or some way something should go, we're really setting ourselves up for appreciation, for not appreciation. We're setting up ourselves for dissatisfaction, right? We're disappointment, right? So to be appointed to joy, we have to let go of our expectations, right? So comment in the chat, I choose to let go of my expectations. I choose to let go of how I expect my family to be. I choose to let go of how I expect my friend to be, or my husband to be, or my wife to be, or my boyfriend or girlfriend to be, right? Choose to let go of expectations, right? And then now we're gonna say, I choose to just appreciate whatever happens, how it happens, because at the end of the day, I'm here. Life is good because I'm here. I choose to appreciate. I'm exchanging my expectations for appreciation. Okay, so we're gonna keep saying that throughout the episode. And before I go any further with this episode, once again, this is a podcast, y'all. And if you've been listening to the podcast, a loyal listener, or you just now tapping in and you're watching in form of live videos, here's what I want to remind everybody. I'm gonna need your support in getting this podcast out there. So the way that you can support it first is go to edtalksdaily.com, click your favorite podcast link, and then you just gonna subscribe, right? And then after you subscribe and listen to it, I want you to go scroll down on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave a review. If you're one person that has been constantly listening to this podcast on a continuous basis and you have not yet left a review, I want y'all to just go and leave a review for me, right? If you listen to the podcast constantly and you have not left a review, just go ahead and leave a review. If you're watching a video, please share the video, comment on the video, like the video, and subscribe to the video, okay? And another way is, if you want to stay updated with text messages, text Ed Talks to my number. That's 561-510-9605, right? So those are just a few announcements. And with those announcements being said, we're going to get right back to the topic, all right? Let's choose to be glad in this season and not sad. I'm going to talk about seasonal affective disorder. For those of you who don't know what that is, so just hang around with me. This is about motivation, but we also have to talk about, scientific reasons, okay? So they call it a disorder, but I always say nothing is a disorder or disease. It's just that it's out of order temporarily, and the moment you shift, you can shift it back in order, okay? So don't ever let a disorder let you know, and shout out to the person who said my hat is cool, appreciate it, I love that hat. Don't let somebody says you have a disorder. Just say things are out of order temporarily, and because I'm very intentional about putting things back in order, I'm gonna be all right? So it's not something, you're not stuck to this. This is not a fact. This is just a way to describe it. So let's get into the topic for today. We're gonna get into it. It's gonna get deep, right? So seasonal affective disorder, according to MayoClinic.org, is a type of depression that's related to changes in seasons. SAD, aka SAD, begins and ends at about the same times every year. If you're like most people with SAD or seasonal affective disorder, your symptoms starts in the fall. Listen to this. Your symptoms start in the fall and it continue in the winter months, sapping your energy and making you feel moody. How many of y'all can relate to this, right? These symptoms often resolve during the spring and summer months. Less often, SAD causes depression in the spring or early summer, resolves in the fall or winter months. People mostly are affected by seasonal affective disorder in the fall. First of all, the switch of when you get in the fall, the lungs are affected, and what affects the lungs mostly is grief. When we get in the winter, the kidneys are affected, and what affects the kidney is fear, right? So imagine you coming from grief into fear, and you mix those two up with cold weather. You mix those two up with cold weather and isolation, and then you add expectations into the mix, and then that becomes a whole lot of reasons why you would actually feel like you need a deep rest from life and everything, right? I always say depression is like your body calling for a deep rest from suffering, but it's showing you that in the form of I don't feel like doing anything, when it's really kind of telling you it's time to make you your priority, so you can work on your health, you can work on how you eat and how you do it. But guess what happens? Seasonal affective disorder is not necessarily just a disorder. It's just that things get out of order, habits get out of order, emotions get out of order. And when you mix all of those things together, the changing of the seasons, also seasonal feelings that come up because they came up and they used to come up and they used to come up years ago. So they come up again. It's almost like I don't even know what's happening with me, but it's happening in me. So what do I mean by that? Around December time, and this year is the year that I'm breaking the cycle, right? Last year I started breaking the cycle. The year before that, I didn't break the cycle. I would be affected by this seasonal affective disorder. Now, what do I mean by that? Around Christmas time, there was a season of my life where I was actually isolated. Remember I told you isolation is preparation for expansion? I was isolated because I was going through a time where I slept in my car. I felt like I didn't have no friends, no family, and I did. But I just felt lonely. I was getting all one. God was working on me, but I felt lonely. So what I interpreted my isolation season as is that nobody cares about me. But the truth of the matter is I was going through my dark night of the soul to reveal my light, right? Let's write this one down. Some seasons when you feel like nobody cares about you, God is actually separating you so that he can let you know how much he cares about you, so you can learn to care about yourself. But guess what? You can conceptualize that idea at the end of your trials and tribulations, but your body don't shift just because your mindset shifted, right? So let's comment this in the chat. My body doesn't automatically shift just because my mindset shifted. What do I mean by that? You have memory in your mind, but your body has a memory as well. So you might be literally expecting abandonment. You might be expecting sadness. You might be expecting certain things so that your body automatically gets you in the mood. So then what we then end up doing is adopting habits that then mixes with how your body feels and makes it feel worse. What do I mean by that? So now we try to eat ourselves then out of the emotions, right? Because your body doesn't, shout out to you, your body doesn't automatically shift just because your mind shifts. So you have to be very intentional about your body. So what do I mean by that? This is not just holiday season. This is not just love season. This is sugar season. So not only do we crave love and family during the holidays, we utilize sugar to replace love and family when we feel like we don't have it. Even when we have family that are relatives, sometimes relatives don't feel like family. Sometimes you're around relatives, but you can't relate, so you don't feel love. So then we drink our way into love. Sodas. We eat ice cream into comfort. Creamy ice cream. We drink our way into it. We get cheesy foods because we feel like we need some comfort. We need some embrace. So when we don't get the embrace, we make food what embraces us. And because your immune system is already at risk when the weather changes during winter, you getting double whammy. Now you're gonna double whammy of pain and hurt. What do I mean by that? Inflammation in the body is one of the major ways that you can actually keep yourself in a depressive state. Now, somebody says, I'm not in control of my depression. It just happened to me, right? The moment you relinquish your control, you actually gave up your opportunity to transform it, right? I'm not saying, okay, you caused your depression, but what I'm saying, in order to cope with the emotions that you're currently feeling, you're actually perpetrating it. And if we want our lives to change, we got to change the way we eat. We got to change the way we sleep. We got to change the way we think. We got to change the way we constantly feel. So we got to trade our expectations for appreciation, one, and we got to change our coping habits for healing habits. Let's write this down. In this season, I'm going to shift my coping habits into healing habits. So if you know that your body desires love and sweets and crave these things to cope, why don't we feed our body things to heal? What do I mean by that? This is a season to make juice a feast. This is a season to make fruits a feast. This is a season to edible arrange your life. This is a season to make herbs, making your pesto, making your gourmet salads. Like the same excitement you get for eating coping foods, make it just as exciting for healing foods in proportions. The same excitement you get for making that eggnog that's going to cause mucus, let's find a way, the same excitement you want for cheese, let's learn how to make cashew cheese. So what am I saying? I'm literally saying, enjoy what you're gonna eat, but now we're gonna turn our foods into medicine. You get what I'm saying? So now we're gonna medically treat ourselves with what we're eating, but we're not necessarily going to make our foods the only thing that we use to deal with this, right? This is just one part of the healing tool. Why? Because you could overindulge in healthy food and that's still not healthy. Okay. Just because it's good doesn't mean you need to have a whole lot of it. Okay, so we can also overeat healthy food. So that means part of your nutrition to heal is food, but we need to also enhance our spiritual food. Somebody said shift our palates, right? Somebody says in this season, again, they commented, I'm changing my coping habits to healing habits. I love it. So what do I mean by that? You're changing your palates. It also means change your palate that feeds your spirit as well. Some of you, coping looks like laughing to ignore what you can do, right? What do I mean by that? Just on social media by itself, sometimes you literally scroll on TikTok looking for stuff to laugh at when you can actually look at stuff to create a laughter that sprouts from contentment and happiness. So what do I mean by that? There's a lot of, I'm gonna say the word, there's a lot of stupid content, right? And it can make you laugh. But we need to also enhance the content that helps us heal. Like this is one of them, right? So I'm not telling you not to find comedians and laugh. Laughter is good for the spirit. But you want your spirit to be at a point where you crack yourself up, right? Where you're getting laughter from being around people because you're not in your head when you're around them, or you're not on your phone, right? Instead of laughing at a video, let's make life the laughter, right? So we're changing coping to healing. So the very thing that helps you escape can actually be escaping from reality. So we got to balance that out, okay? So I'm not telling you not to watch comedy specials or go on TikTok and watch funny videos. Do that thing. But we're going to balance it with videos that educate us on how to heal. We're going to balance that with meditation. We're going to balance that, right? So then, okay. So then we're going to say then, how about movement? So I said inflammation causes depression in the body. Accumulation leads to stagnation, which leads to inflammation, which leads to disease. Physical disease, emotional disease, mental, all of those are the ramifications of accumulation of toxins. Accumulation of toxins, what is that? That's what you eat in your body. That's what you eat in your spirit, which means the foods that you eat in your spirit, the things that you watch and listen to. All of these things can cause inflammation. The lack of movement causes inflammation in the body. Why? Because we're not burning off the heat that we're accumulating. So accumulation leads to stagnation, leads to inflammation. So one of the major ways to help yourself heal in this season is to first be cautious of what you accumulate, but you want to get rid of certain stuff that you've accumulated in your body. So this is why I've been like, yo, you got to detox and fast and do the internal cleansing. Maybe start having soups a little bit more, right? In this season, I stopped eating rice starches, which is literally sugar. I just told you we run away with sugar. Sugar is not just sugar. It's not just chocolate. It's not just soda. It's not just candy. Sugar is starch that becomes sugar. Like, so when we eat excessive rice and things of that nature and bread, that becomes sugar in the body, right? So you might have to say I'm gonna shift from bread and rice and all these things from muffins and all these baked goods. I'm gonna shift from baked goods to actually soups and stews. And I'm gonna shift from these baked goods to healthier goods, right? So we're shifting the way that we eat. So we wanna shift because that's also creating sugar in the body. Now, our body as well. So we're gonna also have to enhance and increase the amount of movement that you do, right? So movement is gonna be a very way of getting rid of accumulated toxins. When you exercise, you perspire. When you perspire, you literally burn off the heat. When you burn off heat, you're literally burning off the inflammation, right? So what do we want to do? We want to go for walks. We want to go for runs. We want to go for swims. We want to get in the sauna. We want to do some cold bathing, right? We want to get in ice tubs if you can. You want to take cold showers. You want to do qigong. You want to do hot yoga, right? You want to go get yourself a massage, all right? So here's how we switch from coping to healing, okay? Okay, this is gonna be partly funny. Okay, most of you, okay, instead of just massaging the internal walls of your vagina, go get your actual massage, okay? Husa. Okay, for the guys, instead of getting a massage of your penis, go massage your body. Okay, here's what I'm saying. It's one thing to get what they call penetration, but it's another thing to get deep penetration of the skin. So this is just a funny way of saying, go get you a massage. All right. Some of you just say, I want a massage because you want your insides to get massaged. Okay, that's okay. That's good. That's good for your hormones too. Right? But instead of trying to find love in internal massage, let's massage our organs with our breath. When you breathe in, You breathe in, the lungs expand. The expansion of the lungs touches your organs and it massages your organs from the inside. So some of y'all need to take deeper breaths for internal massage, right? All right, we need to take deep breaths for internal massage, right? We need to stop using the code word, so especially you fellas. Be like, man, let me give you a massage. You know you don't want to give her a massage, but look, I need your significant order to not stop using massages to get inside. I need you to get massages for healing, okay? So here's what I'm saying. We're gonna go get some massage. Some of y'all need to go pay for that massage. Cause you're gonna hit that guy up or you're gonna hit your girl up for a massage and you know it's not the massage. You know what that's code word for. That's usually code word for what is it called? What did they call it? For foreplay, right? So what we wanna do is we wanna get healing massages. Why? Because massage is one of the ways we get rid of stagnation. Right? I made it funny a little bit here, but I cracked myself up with that one, right? We want to massage our tissues. Your issues are stuck in your tissues. The pains in your neck is because you got pain in your neck. Somebody's a pain in your neck, that's why your neck is tight. Your shoulder anxiety is housed in that. Your back, you got fear and affecting your kidneys, right? Your issues are stuck in your tissues. Some of y'all are like, I need a butt massage. You doggone right you need a butt massage because your booty is full of anger. Y'all feel me? All right, so anger gets stored in your booty. Let's say that again. My issues are in my tissues, so I'm going to massage my issues out of my tissues. Let's write that in the chat. My issues are in my tissues, so I'm going to massage my issues out of my tissues. So what do I mean by that? Your issues are literally stuck in your muscle tissues, and the way that we're going to massage your muscle tissues is going to get rid out of some of the issues. So somebody says, I don't have $90 or $60 to go to a massage therapist. I'm going to hit up, my side piece. All right, you might hit your side piece up, but then you might get yourself back in a toxic. They probably don't even know how to do the massage. So maybe your side piece ain't the right person to hit up for that, all right? Because they probably got no idea how to do it, right? If I was your side piece, I'd probably give you my magic fingers because I know how to do that. But I'm just saying, if you can't pay for it, get you a massage tool for it. You hear what I'm saying? So some of you might need a Christmas gift for yourself called a massage tool. So you go on Amazon or something, you buy yourself one of these self-massage tools so you can massage yourself. Some of you also need to do some dry brushing. Your issues are in your tissues, but your issues block your meridian channels. So what dry brushing is going to do is it's going to allow the flow of the meridian. Some of you want to be loved with loving touch, but you never love and touch yourself, right? So when you're in the shower and you're in your bodysuit, right? I need you to do what is called this meridian flow, right? For the women, for your heart, you're gonna start from your breastbone up into your arm, and you're just gonna like go down, right? Somebody says, I wish somebody else could do it. No, do it to yourself. Do it to yourself, right? Get your mind out of the gutter, okay? Gotta get you right, okay? You gotta put your healing in your own hands, okay? So you're gonna take your hand from your breastbone and you're literally going to go all the way here, right? You're gonna go from here and you're gonna go all the way to your fingertips, right? And you're gonna massage your whole body, okay? And then you're gonna do what is called pida. You're gonna drum up the arm, drum down the arm, right? All these self-massage, this is called pida. You're gonna drum your legs. You're gonna drum inside of the thigh. You're gonna drum underneath your armpit, right? This is called self-love. You're gonna go pluck yourself, right? Stop telling everybody to go F themselves. You go pluck your own self, because they being a pain in your neck and you're housing them in your neck. All right, so you're gonna rotate your neck and release the stagnation. You're gonna drum the base of your neck. You're gonna massage your head, right? You're gonna pat up your head. You're gonna scratch on the side of your head, right? You're gonna put your hands on your temple and pull across the forehead. You're gonna massage the eye. On my YouTube channel, I have videos all about that, right? You're gonna do all of these things, self-massage for self-healing. Because what? Your issues are stuck in your tissues. And if you massage your tissues, you can get rid of some of your issues. My issues are stuck in my tissues, so I'm gonna massage my issues out of my tissues, okay? So these are some strategies, right? We're gonna massage our internal by breathing consciously, doing fire breathing, doing alternative nostril breathing, doing a healing breath. breathing in and then breathing out twice as long as you breathe in. So you breathe in on 4, you exhale on 4. We're gonna drink healing teas, relaxing teas, get some ashwagandha, get my anxiety from my shop, vervain, lemongrass, lepia alba. Put some ashwagandha in there. We're gonna make teas part of our therapy, right? We're gonna do tea therapy, right? So we're gonna have teas for anxiety and stress, right? We're gonna turn our herbs into medicine, right? So we're gonna put in our food some herbs, right? We're gonna put some cloves in our foods to help with your mental health, right? So we're gonna start doing all of these things, okay? So your issues are in your tissues. So one of the best ways to start healing your body is to make movement important. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Somebody says, okay, I'll smoke. All right. We're gonna change from coping to healing. From coping to healing, okay? The thing about smoking is it makes you want it over and over for it, right? So even if you're gonna intake THC, CBD, let's change the way we intake it, right? Right, because then we can less indulge in it. Maybe start to eat it instead, right? Find other ways to do that, right? But anyways, that's not my thing to tackle with you right now, right? You could do that. Been there, done that. But we're gonna talk about different ways, right? So we need to find these herbs, ashwagandha, right? Ashwagandha is really good, right? Vervain, lemongrass, the lepia alba that I talked about. I have that herb in my shop. Y'all go get some of that, really good. Okay, so here's what we need to focus on for winter, the kidneys. So if you're gonna focus on the kidneys, here's what's very important about the kidneys. We need to have courage and not fear. Courage and not fear. Now, courage and not fear. How do we step into courage? We have to strengthen our kidney. There's something called kidney fire, right? In traditional Chinese medicine, something called kidney fire. So we have to learn how to build kidney fire, right? So one of the major ways we do that is with the fire breath one time, and the fire breathing activates what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. Most people are in their sympathetic nervous system. They're very reactive. They're very stressful. They're always in conscious anxiety and stress. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I don't know what's gonna happen with this. So they're residing in fear. So the more we activate what's called the parasympathetic nervous system through conscious breathing, we literally take ourselves out of survival mode into thriving mode, out of anxiety into peace, right? So we want to do stuff that's going to take us away from sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, into, right? We want to relax and massage our organs, right? So what are some things? Somebody says, can I show fire breath? So a fire breath, what you do is you repeatedly, you repeatedly take deep breaths within your nose. Now, when you breathe in, y'all, you have to expand out the diaphragm. What most people do when they breathe in is, let's all do this together, okay? This is very important. So I want everybody watching me all around the world to just take a deep breath right now. Just take a deep breath right now, okay? I can't see you, but I'm assuming I can see you. Everybody take a deep breath. On 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I have a question for you. Did you get taller? Please answer this question in the chat. When you took a deep breath, did you get taller or did you get wider? What's the answer? 1 is I got taller, 2 is I got wider. You can either write tall or you can put 1. Write wide or you could put 2. That's gonna tell me. So I see taller, keep dropping it. I see taller, I see some person said 2, wider. I see another 1 in the chat. I see wide, I see tall, I see 2, I see tall, and I see wide. So we got a combination of taller and we got a combination of wider. Okay, somebody says upward. Okay, perfect. So if you did this, you still took a deep breath, right? You still took a deep breath. All right? What's up, Amina? You took a deep breath, but what you're doing is you held the breath up here. It's like a balloon animal that you squeeze and the top heavy, bottom light, okay? You still took a breath, but you didn't use the full power of your diaphragm, okay? This changed my life in 2017. I had to learn this thing too, right? And when you take a deep breath like this, you're holding your breath. It feels more constrained. It's like somebody said, take a breath, and you're like, it made me feel worse. Right, because we're not using the power, the parasympathetic power of our diaphragm. So how do we do that, Ed? That's the question. I want you now, put your hand on your belly, right? Let's do this with me here. Put your hand on your belly. We're going to take this lesson. This is going to be very impactful for the rest of your life. Practice it for the rest of the day, right? When you go to the doctor won't tell you that because they do what? They do sick care and not health care, right? They prescribe, okay, let's not even get there, okay? All right, you put your hand on your belly, you push it in. Imagine somebody punch you in the belly, right? Sucker punch you. They punch the air out of you. Well, what happened? They punch the air out of you. That's your exhalation breath. Now to inhale, to gain your power back, you literally breathe in and expand the belly of your lungs, the balloon of your lungs. So just like a balloon, when you breathe, when you put air in the balloon, what happens? Does the balloon get halfway up and the other one? No, it literally expands proportionally. The same way that a balloon expands proportionally, so should your belly. Now your belly expands, and I don't mean the stomach. The belly expands because you have chambers of your lungs, okay? So you have 3 chambers on the right, 1, 2, 3. You got 2 chambers on the left, 1 and then 2. The heart sits in the middle. So when you breathe in, all of those chambers expands, right? And the balloon of your lungs expands. So let's try this and let me know if you got it right. If you got it right on the second go, put down that I got it right, right? So when you breathe in, your balloon of the lungs should expand, right? And then you don't feel like you're holding up this. This is relaxed. So relax the shoulders. You just take a deep breath. Who got it right? If you got it right, comment I got it right in the chat. And then when you exhale, you're tightening the belly and it's going towards the spine, okay? So breathe in. Okay, it's hard. I can't stand up. So hopefully you can see it. Breathe in, expand. So I want you to, we're gonna use our hands, and if you're listening, try your best to listen. There we go. People getting it right. Perfect, perfect. When you breathe in, you expand and the arm goes out like this. When you breathe out, you're exhaling like a hug of hair. Exactly. And guess what you're doing? This is like massaging your organs. Remember I said sometimes, okay, let's not even get back to that. You want to massage your organs, okay? We're going to keep this PG for the kids. I know y'all, there's moms and dads and kids watching this too, right? So we're going to keep it PG for this one at least. So now you put your thumb right in the center of your thymus. Boom. This is the location of your stomach, right? And then we put the hand right behind it, right? We got the pancreas behind it. So we have stomach, we have pancreas, which has to do with your blood sugar level, all those good stuff, right? And then now when we take our hands and we slide it to the left, we have the left spleen, the right liver, we got the small and large intestine, we have the lung chambers, we have the heart, and then we have all of these different, we have the kidneys in the back, right? So by breathing in, the lungs expand, the balloon of your lungs expand, the expansion of the balloon literally goes and expands and expands. And then it's literally touching all of those various organs, massaging your internal organs, right? So when you there's one way to massage external, right? Because your issues are in your tissues, but guess what? Your issues are also in your organs, right? So various organs are affected by emotional states. The heart is affected by sadness. Sadness depletes the energy of the heart. So when you're sad, your heart is affected, right? And guess what? When you're in love, your heart is boosted up, right? So love helps the heart. Your issues are in your tissues. Your organs are affected by your emotions. Your issues are in your tissues, and your organs are affected by your emotions. Your lungs is when you're holding a lot of things, right? You have not let things go, so they're holding into you. So you breathe shallow. So you hold your breath when you hold people, things in your heart and your lungs. So what do I mean by that? You hold people in your lungs. So you grieve things, people, situationships, relationships, objects. You even grieve yourself. How many of y'all, you know you had to make a couple of shifts and changes in your life? You know, I'm about to make some shifts and changes. Now you just feel so Like you're about to lose yourself. You're like, damn, man, I'm about to lose who I thought I was, because I'm really finding who I really am. So even though you're excited for the journey of spirituality and getting better and shifting it, you're like, man, I'm about to miss that chicken. Man, I'm about to miss going to the club. Man, I'm about to miss, man, that person who used to break my back, I'm about to miss. Be like, I'm about to miss that. Okay, for the guys, you know, I'm about to miss that. I'm about to miss the strip club. Like, you grieve yourself when you shift, right? So even though you want to do better, you still miss who you're used to be, right? So even evolution, there's a depression, and like you just like, man, I'm gonna miss me. I'm gonna miss my circle of friends. Like, even some of the people you know is toxic, you're like, man, I used to love that toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really like that. So you gonna miss it. So when you grieve, your lungs literally get shallow, right? That affects you, right? So you might even, grieving might even spark your asthma back up. Grieving might even affect all your lung issues, like bring all those things, bronchitis, like, and then now you like all of these things, right? So one of the things that I just discovered a leaf that's actually good for grief, right? I didn't even know about it. I just learned about it the other day. But then there's something called mullein, right? Mullein will help clear out your lungs. And imagine if you're grieving your old self, you're grieving certain people in your life that's no longer there, right? God bless and rest their soul. You're grieving old relationships. You're grieving old versions of you. You're grieving the carnal parts of your body, right? And your body is calling for it, right? Your body's calling for that thing. And you're like, man, I got to be stronger. So you're grieving for it. And it's hard. Guess what? We have to fuel our lungs more, right? We have to do stuff to enlighten our, that's why we have to make breathing and all this stuff so important. So let's go back and do a review. Sadness affects the heart. Grief affects the lungs. Fear affects the kidneys, right? Making shifts can be fear. It gets hard to make shifts. You can be scared of it, right? Because you're stepping into new territory, right? When you're stepping into new territory, you're going to have to step with it with a different level of courage, right? You're stepping into new territory. Sometimes you're shifting your jobs, right? You're stepping into new territory. Sometimes you're shifting in value, so you're stepping into new territory, right? Somebody said, man, I'm going in celibacy now. The guys don't want to deal with me because I'm celibate, right? So when you step into new territory, you might be like, man, I finally started to, I used to give it up to everybody. Now I'm being a little bit cautious. So now you're actually realizing that they didn't really want you to begin with. They just wanted your body. So now you're stepping into new territory. So you're going to be scared a little bit, right? You're stepping into new territory. So guess what? The kidneys and the bladder work together, right? So the kidney and the bladder works together. So here's what I mean. If when you're stepping into new territory and you're scared, you remember somebody said this person got scared shitless, or they got scared until like, right? So your bowel movement, your excretion is connected to whether to your fear, right? It's connected to that, right? So sometimes you feel like you peed on yourself because you're scared to peeing on yourself, right? So your bladder is attached to the kidneys, right? So your sexual organs is attached to your digestive organs as well, right? So your kidneys is not just dictating your hormonal balance. It's not just affected by your emotions. It's not just affected by stress, because you have the adrenals, the adrenals. The adrenals is actually connected to that fight or flight I was talking about. So when you're fearful, the adrenals actually is communicating to the kidneys, and kidneys communicating to the bladder. So then one of the major things we can do is actually work on that, right? But here's another thing as well. Now, bladder control is liquid control. So kidney control is liquid control. Now, what am I saying about that? Liquid control. Controlling what liquids you drink. Controlling the types of stuff, how much toxins is in the liquids, right? So what I mean by that is we want to drink more teas to cleanse out the blood. We need to drink water, a lot of water, right? We need to enhance. We need to stop drinking alcohol. So right, we need to make some shifts. So we got to change the quality of liquids that we're drinking, the quality of liquids that we're drinking. So your sexual organs is connected to your digestive organs. The PC muscle, which controls how you pee, also controls how you ejaculate, right? We're all adults here. We could talk about there's a correlation between ejaculation and peeing, right? So we need to do PC muscle exercises. One of the things we do with Qigong is learning how to tighten your PC muscle, and loosening the PC muscle, right? So what do I mean by that? Learning how to control the bladder, right? So one of the things that Montauk Chia teaches is sexual transmutation, right? So sometimes when we don't get any, we can replace what we're not getting with toys, right? So we can overstimulate certain parts of our bodies, right? For guys, that's the testicles. For women, that's the ovaries. So we got the testicle and we got the ovaries. So now guess what we sometimes do? We overstimulate ourselves. So for guys, they might just use their hands to overstimulate themselves. For women, they might use a rose to overstimulate themselves. So that PC muscle is constantly shooting out these things that your body need for the hormonal balance, right? So you're literally shooting out your vital hormones. So because you're shooting out your vital hormones, you're actually causing hormonal imbalance. So now you're shooting out vital hormones and then you're eating toxic food. So now you're getting toxic hormone building, right? So that's why we focus on so much lifestyle. So something can go as extreme as you dealing with fibroids, right? Because the stopping and starting of blood flow and the replacing of getting the blood flow from sex to getting the blood flow from food causes gummy worms to build up in your ovaries. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you had a boyfriend and then things were going good. So you just kept getting it in. You kept getting it in. You getting that thing in, baby, day in, day out. You having the best sex of your life. And then boom, breaks your heart. Now your heart is broken, literally. So now the blood is not only not flowing to the ovaries because you ain't getting that much. Now you using your rose to get the blood flowing. Now not only using your rose, or you're using your hands to get the blood flowing for the guys. So now you're using sweets to sweeten your life because now you don't have the love. So now you're using roses, you're using sweets, and now you're not breathing as much because now you're grieving. So the grief means you're not getting as much oxygen into your blood. So there's a lack of oxygen in your blood, a lack of blood movement, a lot of blood oxygen replaced by toxins. So toxins in your kidneys. Now you're probably not drinking water, but you're drinking alcohol. So now you're not getting liquids that are cleaning your blood. You're getting liquids that's toxifying the blood. So we have alcohol, we got food, then we got EMFs going in your vagina. I made a video about the roses. People came after me. I was like, man, instead of getting the EMFs, why don't you get let's switch from healing to coping. Why don't you get yourself some, what is it called? Cake. What's the thing? Keg? I don't remember. Keg, whatever. Put somebody comment the word, right? So we do some building exercises, right? Of course, watch your vagina with some pigeon pea and some almond leaves. And for guys, you want to do semen retention, right? So it's not actually bad to play with yourself. We just gonna keep it real. We're just being adults here, right? It's not actually bad to release, right? But we have to learn how to transmute it, right? So Montauk Chia Kegels, right? We want to switch that up and start to yoni eggs, right? Start to practice releasing the energy and stuff of that nature, right? Somebody says, right? So you want to do that. For guys, Montauk Chia talks about, right, massaging the penis, right? Literally stroking on it, right? And then pulling the testicles down, right? You tug on the testicle, and then up until like you feel like ejaculating, but you don't ejaculate, you breathe in, you breathe out, and you circulate that energy, right? The same thing with the woman, learning how to recirculate your so definitely read that called Healing the Tao, right? Healing the Tao. So this is science, right? So we want to be able to do that. So but anyways, that's a way of doing that. Go read that book, it's really good. So the PC muscle, we need to learn how to breathe in and breathe out, tightening and loosening that muscle, along with the anus sphincter muscle, right? So we have the PC muscle, which controls your pee, and your ejaculation, and we have the back one, which is your anus sphincter muscle, which is also connected. So we have the anus and we have the front. We have the front and the back. So we learn how to tighten and loosen, breathing in and breathing out. Tighten and loosen. You can do that right now. Tighten and loosen, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out, right? So part of Qigong, we teach you how to do all of these different things, okay? So these are some ways that we can say, so my organs are affected by emotional states, my issues are in my tissues. What can I do to reverse engineer and heal my body, okay? So now I talked about the heart holding sadness, but you can transmute it to love. I talk about the lung holding grief, but you can let it go by the fear holding kidneys, and you can turn fear into courage, right? Then we have to talk about the spleen. The spleen is affected by worry, right? So the spleen is affected by worry, and if we're chronic worriers, that's going to affect your spleen. And the spleen is the second detoxification process for your blood before it goes out to the kidneys. Now the liver is the first detoxification process before it gets to the spleen. So the liver is affected by anger. So your issues are not just in your tissues, your anger is in your booty, but your issues are in your organs. Your anger toxify your blood, right? So we want to be able to release the anger, right? A lot of us hold up resentment, which is internalized anger. That's what I meant by when you're angry at somebody, you're not hurting them as much as you're hurting you. You will not be hurt for your anger, you're going to be hurt by your anger. So that affects your liver. So now you're worried about other people, that affects your spleen. Now you're scared, so that affects your kidneys. Now you're sad, so that affects your heart. So now you're grieving, that affects your lungs. So all of these things can be transmuted once we are doing that emotional release every single day, right? So everything I just talked about is a holistic paradigm to healing. This is how we transmute from sad into glad, changing from seasonal affective disorder to being glad. This is the day that the Lord has made. And let's put an acronym for glad. Gratitude, love, appreciation, and dedication. Gratitude, love, appreciation, and dedication to holistic living. Glad. Gratitude, love, appreciation, and dedication to holistic living. All right? So we want to be glad and not sad, right? We want to shift from seasonal affective disorder to being grateful for what we have, being loving in this season regardless of the love we don't think we have, appreciating, changing our expectations for appreciation, changing our lack of discipline into discipline, right? That's going to be a formula for gladness. But listen, everybody. This has been definitely a powerful episode. And what I do is I'm a holistic lifestyle coach. By the way, if you guys have any holistic lifestyle questions, go to my website, theholisticmotivator.com. You can actually get a free consultation to talk to me, free of charge, and there's no strings ever attached. And I can actually give you free resources from that alone. But if you want to learn about detoxing, fasting, and specific movements you can do. In fact, if you want to do Qigong with me for a specific thing, I can actually host a private session with you on my website, theholisticmotivator.com/book. We can have a one-on-one Qigong class. I offer holistic lifestyle coaching sessions. Now, do I have a class or a mentor? Yes, my mentor has been mentored for a lot of the healers. His name is Dr. George Xavier Love. I'm literally his adopted son. So he's been my teacher for a while. So I do have a mentor. I'm also a mentor myself. So for those of you who want to guess, I have a community called the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe, and this is how I help support people transition and maintain holistic living. If you want to get access to that, holisticlifestyletribe.com. For those of you who want to get on your health journey, but you want to find a holistic way to do so, like, it's not just this or that, it's a whole lot. I bring it all together underneath one umbrella. Seekers, healers, teachers, motivators come together to empower one another to help heal, right? So I have a lot of people who are in the community They're not just people like, I need to transition. They're people who are already in it, but they also need that motivation, that constant structure to be able to reveal their gift, stay in tune with their branding, all this stuff right now. So definitely tap in to it. Those are some resources. Some other resources I have is my text messaging system, right? So you text Ed Talks or to 561-510-9605. You're gonna get access to daily text, well, not daily anymore, right? You're gonna get access to my text messaging system. Then I'm gonna keep you in my circle. There, I'll let you know of workshops I have and all these other great things that I have to offer for you. And you're gonna be part of my inner circle, right? You can text me anytime. I'll repeat that. I'll text you back, right? I don't want to say I'm real, but I'm very real because I text people back. I communicate with you. I'm not like, this is my work. This is what I do. So my number is 561-510. And shout out to Lola for subscribing. Shout out to you. Welcome to the fam. My number is 561-510-9605. Somebody comment that. And my website is theholisticmotivator.com. Once again, theholisticmotivator.com. You could, that's how you, /book. That's how you get the free session. That's how you get the free session. Or that's how you book me for an actual Qigong class. But listen, yep, Tribe Vibes, baby. Shout out to Sela, Tribe Vibes. You already know it. That's Tribe Vibes right there. Yep. I'm just so grateful to have a tribe of powerful beings, of healers, man, because we doing great things in the world. We're doing great things in the world and we're growing together. But listen, I have something to ask you though. Listen, I have an ask. Everything I just told you is really for your support, but I have something for my support. Can I ask y'all to do something for me, and can I get some dedications from y'all? Look, this is completely pure of heart, and imagine if you put out 600 episodes of your podcast in its lifetime of 5 years, but you only get a few hundred views. Let me tell you, imagine if you spend, I went on Spotify and it said you've produced like 3,000 minutes or something, and it says you're part of the 1% of creators that ever post. Imagine if you do all of this work, but your stuff doesn't spread. Let me ask you, how hard is it for me to keep doing it? But I keep doing it. Imagine if you've been doing this for 5 or 6 years, and it's not even on the charts. Imagine how difficult it is for me to show up day in, day out, give all of this value, save the value as a podcast, and not get the support. Imagine how hard that is. But by the way, shout out to Khaleesi, by the way. Shout out to Maria, by the way, who went and left her review. Imagine how difficult it is to be a healer and do this work and not reach people like you thought you would. It's very difficult. But guess what I do? Because my heart is in the right place, I keep doing it. But guess what I need for y'all to do for me? I need you to I need you to do it right after this. Go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts preferably, and I need you to leave a review for my podcast, right? Look, somebody says, when I get income again, I'll subscribe to you. Look, I give it to you for free without money. Why? Because God put me out here to do it. I was telling, look, and when I say I tell God, is I'm very spiritual and I have a relationship with the Creator. I was saying to myself, and I was like, God, man, I need to charge people for all this stuff because I'm not making anything out of it. It's just, I feel like I'm putting in the work and I'm not getting nothing back. God was like, bruh, you can't be hiding this stuff from the people when it's not even for you. I didn't give you your gift for you. I gave you your gift for people. So even though you're like, people should pay for my podcast, he's like, man, this is not even your podcast. I need you to put this out because when you were going through your challenges, you didn't have no money or whatever, you didn't have that income, you was listening to somebody else's stuff for free and they helped you. That's how you're able to do what you're doing. So you can't be selfish with it. So yes, you can have your private community and charge people for it, but you still got to give the people what I gave you because it's not for you. So when you listen to my podcast and you think it's so great, the reason why I do it is because I'm also doing God's work along with my gifting, right? But what I need is I need support for the people because it's dreading, man. When I look in like 50 listens, I was like, damn, bro, it took me so much time to do this. But it's good stuff. This is a podcast. So somebody might say, I've never listened to your podcast. You're listening to it right now. This is the podcast. Every clip you see on my TikTok, that becomes a podcast episode. So everybody who is watching or listening, you're listening to my podcast. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to go to edtalksdaily.com /reviews. reviews, and I need you to go and just click Apple Podcasts or click Spotify. On Apple Podcasts, you're gonna scroll all the way down. You're gonna scroll all the way down. You're gonna look for the stars. You're gonna click preferably 5 stars. You're gonna write a review. And then you're gonna go and look at the episodes and download 3 of the episodes. Once you do that, you're gonna boost the algorithms up. It's gonna tell Apple Podcasts, like, bro, this is a podcast that you should boost up. And what's gonna take it is gonna take it from the bottom of the list, it's gonna bring it to the top of the list. So now this is gonna allow people to find that thing out, to learn it, right? It's gonna find out. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to go to edtalksdaily.com/reviews. Click the rate on Apple Podcasts if you have an Apple phone. If you don't have an Apple phone, do it on Spotify. If you use Audible, do it on Audible. If you use Google Podcasts, do it on Google Podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, which is my preferred one, you're going to scroll all the way up. You're going to go down where you see the stars. Click the star and then write down a comment. And if you don't have the podcast app, it's a purple little app, right? It says podcast. If you don't have Spotify, download Spotify. But you go to my website, it's going to bring you to that. edtalksdaily.com/reviews and leave a review. I used to never really talk about it, but now it's like, bro, it's called Ed Talks Daily, Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation. This is just a tip of what I have. I have over 500 episodes out there, 500 of any other subject. So if you had any questions and I didn't really answer it, literally, if you go through my podcast, I have something in relation to that. And it's just like, you will find a subject, you find something that you can relate to. Like, I guarantee it. So it's Ed Talks Daily, Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation. So I appreciate you. And Roro, I want to say, trust the process. Keep showing up for yourself. Healing happens daily, right? And I'm going to say something that some of you may not feel in this moment, but to whoever is going through some really tough time in your life where you like enough is enough, when you're like, I'm tired, I'm sick of being tired, and I've gotten to a point where it's really difficult for me, I'm going to say something that's not popular. Congratulations. You've stepped into the beginning stage of enlightenment. It is when your pain becomes so unbearable. It is when you have reached a point where enough is enough. This is the beginning stage of relations that you never would have gotten if you stayed in the comfort of regular living. I promise you, this may seem like, bro, I don't even understand that, but I understand it so much to tell you that the dark night of the soul is going to reveal something that you didn't know you had. And I'm actually happy for people who are sick of being tired. Y'all feel me on that? Like, I'm happy for you because you got to a point where you said enough is enough. There's more out here for me. I'm tired of feeling anxious. I'm tired of feeling sad. I'm tired of going through the same pains over. Something has to change, and it has to change now. I promise you, I'm not being, there's no lack of empathy here. This is complete. This is me telling you that you are blessed, but now the process is the steps that you take. The process is going to be you making a decision that I'm going to really start to make this happen. This is you making a decision that I'm going to shift into prosperity and health. So by the way, to everybody who subscribed, I have a special gift for you. The special gift that I have for everybody who just subscribed, but you got to text me to get the gift. Text my number, 561-510-9605. If you subscribe, also let me know what your @name is, right, on TikTok when you text me or when you email me, either one of them. I'm going to have a special gift for you, right? So the gift is going to be, first, a talk with me, conversation with me, handwritten card, and one of my teas, right? The only thing you have to do is I'm going to ask you to pay for shipping. Right, so you're gonna get the card for free, you're gonna get some tea for free, and you're gonna get a talk with me for free, but you're gonna have to just pay for the shipping. All right, so that's all you're gonna pay for is shipping, and I'm gonna ship that out to you. So everybody who subscribed today, I got a gift for you, right? But we gotta follow up on that. Follow up with me, either email, which is in my bio, or text message. So I'm gonna give y'all that gift right, for supporting me, because I really appreciate everybody who support me, okay? So, I also really love the community, man. I love the community in the chat. I love how you guys are, ladies and gents, are supporting one another. It's beautiful to see. And I'm telling y'all, this is what always comes around when I do whatever I do. It's just so much powerful people. I meet the most beautiful souls, right? I meet the most beautiful souls. And I just wanna say everything is going to turn out well, and things are gonna get much better. Yeah, and I would definitely agree with AB Creator. Shout out to the support. I love it. I love it. So that's another thing too. You're gonna meet people, like the tribe I was talking to you about, when you get in that circle, you just meet powerful people. You meet powerful people. So shout out to, I love the love. I love the love. So before I go, and yeah, yeah, shout out to, I'm almost at the goal. Shout out to everybody, man. Listen, y'all make sure y'all text me so I can send y'all that gift, because I really appreciate y'all for helping me get to that goal. Really appreciate y'all for subscribing. Shout out to Durgapur, right? Excuse me if I mess up your at name. Shout out to everybody. Listen, I want to know who's gonna leave me that review. If you're gonna go leave me that review, I want to see it, man. Comment review. Let me see who's gonna go leave me that review. I really need that review. Who's gonna go subscribe to the podcast? I really need that thing to happen, right? 2023, I want to get this stuff out. There we go. Shout out to you, Lola. My podcast name is Ed Talks Daily Holistic Lifestyle Motivation. Somebody asked me, am I Bahamian? Haitien, yeah. Moi Haitien. Moi fait Haiti. So yeah, I am Haitien, right? I don't like the word Haitian anymore because it has hate in it. Oh, shout out to you, Lola. Appreciate you. Yeah, go subscribe. Ed Talks Daily Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation. Shout out to Boss Lady. Shout out to you for leaving. Yeah, go leave that review. edtalksdaily.com/reviews. You only have Spotify, Candy. Listen, Spotify, it's on there. Ed Talks Daily, Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation. It's on Spotify. Those of you who listen, it's also on Audible. Audible.com. There we go. Thank you. Go ahead. I know some of y'all, I'm done with the motivation and the education. I just need something for this. Let's believe it. I'd be tired. There we go. We're doing it. There we go. Shout out to you, Aaliyah. I'd be tired of putting in the work and not reaching the people. Let me tell you something. I get these realizations, by the way, and yeah, I guess you don't have to believe me, but I believe in me, right? Shout out to you, Chi. Shout out to Skate Chi. And shout out to you, Aaliyah, who texted me. Make sure you give me your at name, too, so I can verify, because I can verify everything, right? Let me know. God told me something. He was like, man, I need you to be there for the people during the winter, because it's going to be hard for a lot of people. And I was like, God, what people? I was like, bro, I barely get one person to watch me on Instagram. I was like, yo, this is a word. What you telling me to do here? And anybody watching what I'm doing? And God's like, I will show you. And then I started getting these ideas of content I should do. Right? I made a video with Les Brown. I was just obeyed to just give him some herbs. That video blew up. I didn't even expect it to blow up. In fact, I was thinking to myself, don't post it because people gonna think you just gave Les Brown the herbs so you can make a video. But that was not even the case. My camera was just recording at the time. And I was like, I gotta get this moment. And I was obedient in that instant. God blew that video up. And ever since that one clip, everything has been transmuting. Right? So my name is Ed. So God is like, yo, I need you to be there for the people. So I started being there. And then guess what? He's just been sending people. I was like, oh, okay. You see, so just be obedient. But here's what I'm saying. I also realized that there are some people who are not finding my podcast, not because they can't find it, but not because they don't want to listen to it, but because they can't find it. So nice to meet you, Candy. Why is it telling me payment to complete it when I tried it down? No, I don't think okay, I don't know why that is. Maybe it's, maybe you have an outstanding app on your phone you haven't downloaded. Somebody says, am I using WhatsApp? I'm on the other side of the world. If you're on the other side of the world, I have what is called I have something called a Discord. I'm on Discord. Oh, by the way, I am on Discord. I want to get y'all on the Discord. That's actually a way to get in if you're around the world. And holisticlifestyletribe.com is another way for you to communicate. But yeah, I can't give you my other number because I got to keep my way. I got to keep myself, I got to have some sort of boundaries. But I can give you the other number. I can't give my other number for my WhatsApp. It's just, I got to be careful, That's why I have two numbers. I pay a lot of money for the other one. I see you on Apple Podcasts. What's up, cousin? Somebody say, hey, cousin. Are you my cousin for real, Mimi? I am on Discord. I'm on Discord. So let me find out what my Discord is. By the way, man, who uses Discord on here? If y'all want to get on my Discord, that's actually a great way to connect. I guess I need to start to share that more. My Discord, I'm on Discord, the Holistic Motivator. I think I'm on there as the Holistic Motivator. There we go. For everybody who's on Discord, yeah, go on the Discord. I'm going to start promoting that a little bit more. So I have the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe. That's my community. But I also have the Discord. That's the free community. And I'm going to put some resources on there. I'm going to start using that more. Yeah, that's a good idea, Ed. Okay. So check me out on Discord. All right. So anybody have issues, struggling to find the podcast? Everybody found the podcast so far? Are we good to go? Are we good to go for the day? And those of you who's listening, if you're, this is a message for people who listen later. Those of you listening on the podcast, if you listen to all of this and you didn't leave me a review, shame on you. Shame on you. There are some people like that though. Like they've been listening to my podcast for years. And I'd be like, leave me a review. And they're like, man, I love your podcast. I'd be like, bro, don't text me that. I'd be so mad. It's all love though. I'd be like, why you text me you love my podcast when I just actually leave me a review or share it with somebody? I'm like, damn, you want to tell me you love my podcast, but you can't show me that you love it? But it's all love. It's all love. Oh, shout out to Mimi writing that review. Man, we're going to blow this thing up. My goal is to make it #1, man. Yeah. We're leaving that review. Shout out to Lola. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, to everybody who's fan, we're gonna do some Q&As. I'm gonna start some sessions just for y'all. So we're gonna do it exclusive too. We're gonna do some exclusive stuff for you. So we're gonna be tapping in. I'm gonna some of the risings, you're gonna be able to tap into Rising Prime. Not to every aspect of it, because I really don't like the fact that I can't put every aspect of Rising Prime on TikTok because the feds be watching, right? But I can put some stuff on there. So you won't get the full Rising Prime. Somebody says you can't find me on there, on Discord. Email me. Click the link in my bio. Send me an email, and then I'm going to get you connected. Send me an email. All right, y'all. I want to remind y'all that you have the unlimited power in you to achieve whatever it is that you want and to release the person in you that you already are. But first, you have to believe it in order to achieve it. And until that happens, the world will forever miss all your talents, all your dreams, and all the great things that you have to offer. So remember, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. It's the Holistic Motivator, and I want to shout out to everybody for tapping in. Thank y'all for leaving me a review. Thank y'all for texting me. Thank y'all for supporting what I got going on, for gifting me, for sending me love, for being so supportive for everybody in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, make sure you like and subscribe to the video. And shout out to Roro. Yo, shout out to y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all. And thank y'all for the love. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank y'all. Y'all stay blessed, okay? Appreciate the good vibes. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Janelle. Appreciate y'all. One love. Have a blessed day.